What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of a Dream Firm Leader Interview. My name is Tyler S. Clark. I look a little bit like a hobo who lost a fight, but the truth is I just took an elbow playing basketball. All good, things happen. It's really hard to play sports over the age of 30, but much more important is who I am with here today. And so what I would like to do is I would like to introduce to you the fitness fanatic that whips online fitness coaches into shape, the entrepreneurial accountant who pushes her clients' profits so they see big gains, a fearless competitor who's just as dedicated to winning races as she is to building her dream accounting firm, the businesswoman who knows that an $18,000 client is only the bar, not her ceiling, and the dedicated teacher whose accounting career began with a child's imagination and a Sears catalog. More on that in a little bit. Join me in welcoming the Dream Firm leader who's strengthening the numbers for online fitness coaches through hands-off accounting services so they can set a new PR, that's a profit record. The Dream Firm leader of Blanco Accounting Services, the one, the only, Adrienne Blanco. Thank you so much for joining us today, Adrienne. How are you doing? Still, she muted herself by accident. How are you doing today, Adrienne? One more time, let me ask to unmute you, and then we'll get you. She was so excited, she muted herself from that introduction, I think. Sorry, you're still on mute. One more time.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We got you now. Okay, wonderful. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Sorry about that. That was an absolutely wonderful introduction. I'm like, I picked myself up.
Yeah, I like to say, like, if I ever need another career, I'll just follow my clients around and I'll be your hype man. You go to an event, I'll just go on stage right before you. I'll pump up the crowd. It would be an honor to do so. But let's kind of kick things off here. So I want to always start in the beginning because I find that a lot of our backgrounds are very similar in terms of where we got started. But for you in particular, Adrienne, tell us a little bit about when you got started with your accounting firm.
So I started my firm in 2014 while I was still working a full-time job. And I went full-time exclusive in November 2019. And we know what happened shortly after that. But yeah, I was already there.
So you're saying you love risk is what you're saying, right? You're like, you know what? This seems like a great time for me to go out on my own.
You know, it actually was the perfect time because if I hadn't done it then, there's absolutely no way I would have done it once the pandemic hit.
Well said. Well said. So talk us a little bit about what was the driving decision for that? Because a lot of people, whether there's a big change personally, whether it's a global situation that's going on, there's usually a spark to be an entrepreneur. So I want to talk about where that originated, where that desire to be an entrepreneur started, and then what was really the final straw that just said, you know what, this is something I've got to pursue with everything I have.
So I've always wanted to be. I always loved numbers, which led me naturally to accounting. And I worked in accounting 30 years. But I always felt like I could be doing more. There's more. I'm like, I can do this with my eyes closed. I was the budget director at a university, and I'm like, I could do this with my eyes closed. And so it's almost like I needed a challenge, but as well as just wanted to be able to serve more. Anybody could have done what I was doing, and I felt like I was more than just anybody. I had more to offer, and I wanted to maximize that. And I pulled the trigger at a point where I hated going to my job. I hated driving to my job. And it was a very good job. There was nothing wrong with it. It just, my time was up. And I literally could not physically drive my car there anymore.
How long was that commute? How long?
30 minutes. That's not a long commute.
30 minutes is still too long as far as I'm concerned. And clearly you agreed with that. And so you said, hey, you know what? I find that not only am I doing something that maybe other people could do, I think sometimes we downplay our own expertise, but then you said, you know what? I can and should be able to do more? Maybe even, I don't use this term lightly, but called to do more. Is that something that you felt as well, Adrienne?
That is perfect. That is literally how I felt. I was called to do this from the beginning. I feel like, okay, now it's time to walk into your purpose. And no spring chicken, but still trusted and believed that I was making the right decision and that it would work out, because I felt like this is what I needed to be doing right now.
That's I think that's such an important thing, is we have to have, not necessarily feel like we're called to it, but we have to have that why, that motivation to push us forward, to take that leap of faith, to feel like, you know what, I don't know the exact path forward right now, but I know the direction I'm going in. And one other thing you said there, and I would, this is very strange for me to pull out. You said no spring chicken. Now I say that only because if you're like me, you look at Adrienne, you probably think she's like my age, right? You look at but she shared with me something privately, and I would never reveal a woman's age publicly. Like that's suicide. But no, just to say it out loud, no, I'm not going to ask her that. But like, if you're looking at her and she's like, she's young, she's got 40 plus years ahead of her to be able to make this work, you're just dead wrong. She wants to make this work as bad as anybody who's been in the career for a number of years. But let's talk a little bit about the type of clients that you work with and the services you provide. So you decide to go out on your own. You feel like you're called to more. But tell us again, like what was that initial vision that you had for your firm, and how does that stack up to maybe how it's evolved to today?
Initially, I just wanted to be able to serve entrepreneurs, to help them understand the numbers. I feel like entrepreneurs or business owners, particularly small business owners, they know what they do well, their core business, but when it comes to the financial aspect, they didn't know, and I could bridge that gap. Not only did I work in accounting, but I taught accounting at the college level a few semesters, and it was, I love teaching that first basic level accounting course, because it just gives you that knowledge that you need to springboard. And I think all business owners should have that course, but if they don't, then that's where I can step in. So when I started, actually, it's crazy how it came full circle. So my first client is an online fitness coach, just by happenstance, just not even, I had 2 years out from meeting Tyler, all of that. My first client is an online fitness coach. And then it came to the point where I need money, I need cash flow, I need revenue. So I was taking any client, and just because I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a strategy. So I was just taking any client to make ends meet. So I have clients, I have a medical training facility owner, I have a property development company, I have a virtual trade show provider. And just recently I came back full circle to my niche market of securing an online fitness coach. So it's just crazy how it all came back around full circle.
It is it's amazing, and I really believe that nothing happens by accident, nothing happens by chance, and the way that you described your journey, I think, is so interesting, because oftentimes when we start out, and this is, to be clear, this is the right way to do it for those that are watching and they're like, I'm cutting my teeth, I'm just starting out. I want you to say yes to a lot of things, right? I want you to figure out what you like and what you don't like, because the truth is, when you're just starting out in your accounting firm, you're revenue hungry, right? Like, you should be saying yes, you should be learning, you should be willing to take on more clients. But then as your journey progresses, you're going to start to have insights about what you like, what you don't like. And sometimes that first client is your best client. Sometimes that first client is your worst client. In this case, it sounded like, hey, there is a natural love of fitness. We have a client that sounds like that they were fantastic right from the jump. And now we've come to the conclusion of, hey, wait a minute, if we just narrow our focus and we can just get really clear about our marketing message, about our service delivery, about our value proposition to these people, we're going to be able to have a much, much more profitable rest of our journey here. But before we move into that side of the equation, Adrienne, let's talk a little bit about before you decided to make those strategic shifts. So bring us back to what your life was like before you started working with dream firms. Because I remember our very first call together. And I was like, I really hope she pulls the trigger. You actually surprised me when you decided to work with us, but I knew you had tremendous potential, but I also knew that there were a lot of things that a lot of other people would use as reasons to not move forward. So help us to, again, just paint that picture of what was going on in your life before you started working with us.
Okay, so before Dream Firms, I was struggling. I was literally wondering if I had made the right decision in walking away from my extremely comfortable job. I was at the point where, okay, if I don't make it, I literally have to go and get a 9-to-5. Literally, I was at the point where I'm either going to quit or I'm going to find something that I'm going to be able to make this work. But there's no in between. There was no wiggle room. It was either now or go get a job, because my revenue wasn't growing. I didn't have any client growth. And I mean, I have to live. And what was interesting, it was, and like Tara said, nothing is by happenstance. So I was just doing my regular CPE, just getting some hours when I stumbled across Tyler. And then, they all give you that spiel and you click for more information. And then we had the call. And I think I've always kind of been spontaneous, but controlled spontaneity is what I like to call it. Where it's like, okay, you either go or you don't go. You either go or you don't go, because it'll just save you all the mental stress of weighing all of the pros and cons and figuring it out. And at that moment, I was like, just go, just trust the process. Trust Tyler, trust the process, and trust yourself. And when I came into agreement on those things, it was like, here you go, let's go.
So this is a great answer. And I know it mirrors a lot of the people who come to us, some of which decide to work with us, some of which continue on their current trajectory or go and do things. But that boiling point is what I refer to it as, right? It's like that moment, that 1 degree difference of boiling water or not. And it's like, as soon as you hit that, it's like, you've got to do something at this point. And you're right. It's like, either I bet big on myself. And when I started to write your intro for today, I was like, that I wanted to work that in there, but it was kind of hard. But there's a quote I love, which is, sometimes you've got to bet on yourself, because that's the best bet that you can make. And this to me was like, you know what? I'm going to make the investment to prove to myself that I can do this. And if this does not work, at least I know that I tried and I gave it my all. And I went with an expert, and then I'm going to feel comfortable going back to that comforting day job, but not yet, right? Like, we're going to say, you know what? Not today. And I'm so happy that you did that. But let's maybe talk about some of the specific hurdles and struggles at the time. And a lot of people think of us as exclusively just like a marketing company. And I think, through our experiences together now, that we offer quite a bit more than that. But before you realized all the different things that we could help you with, what were the really specific things that you said, I've got to solve this problem in order to justify continuing on my entrepreneurial journey?
I had to figure out how to price my services. I had no idea what I was supposed to be charging for services. I had no idea what an agreement should look like. I just structure, system. I just had all of those missing pieces. I was an entrepreneur, and there's tons of stuff out there for entrepreneurs, but nothing specific for accounting entrepreneurs. And you can search, and there was just nothing specific. So that's what really piqued my interest, because I figured this is going to, he said, he's not telling you he's working with 10,000 different kind of people or industries. It's one industry, and let's perfect that. And I felt that could translate to what I needed to do, because I just felt like there were so many missing pieces. Right? How much am I supposed to charge? Just simple things,
It's amazing how many pieces of the puzzle there are. right? And I think that's the biggest struggle for the vast majority of entrepreneurial accountants. Is my pricing wrong? Are my packages wrong? Is my market wrong? Is my website wrong? Is my approach to sales wrong? Is my follow-up messaging wrong? Is the way I handle social media wrong? Is the way that I select my software wrong? I mean, like, I could go for another like 10 minutes, but the point is there are so many questions that if you don't buy access to the people who've already made the mistakes, like I ran my firm, and like, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not have a dream firm. I had a nightmare firm in the beginning because I had to make so many mistakes to figure out what the heck a dream firm even needed to be and resemble. And then I started learning from and investing in all of these other people. And now I take those and I bring them back and I go, you don't have to make the mistakes. You can stop the guessing games. You can just be like, we know the most efficient path, or you might know a better path. We get people coming to the program and like, wait, this is a bit like, we got this community. Wait, this is a little bit smarter. This is a better way to approach this. And so we get to build off of each other's experiences, but I'm glad that you were willing to share that, right? I mean, it's a very tangible thing that a lot of people struggle with. And hopefully this is going to help a few people moving forward here.
I can say one thing that once I committed, instead of it feeling like, oh, I'm going to be investing all of this, I honestly felt like it was a relief. It was a relief that I had the answer. I had access to the answer, and that pressure, and that was creating anxiety and stress for me personally. I felt like that I didn't have that anymore because I had dream firms.
And again, I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people, you said this earlier, right? Controlled spontaneity, I think, is the way you referred to it. It's like yes or no. And then once it's yes, you're all in. And to me, the people who think that waiting will benefit them, right? Like the people who are constantly like, after tax season, or, when I finally get another client that solves my cash flow problems, then I'll invest in the thing that solves my cash flow problems. It's like, there's some logical inconsistencies, right? And it's like, once I have a bunch of those, but it doesn't matter. The point is again, it's like the decision to solve the problem oftentimes alleviates the pressure around the problem. And then you have all this motivation and desire to actually go and implement the solutions and stop trying to guess and wonder, is this the right solution? You leave the research phase and you move into the action and implementation phase. And then all of a sudden it clicks, it starts moving. And again, I appreciate you chiming in and providing some more context to that. So you had been at this for a little while before you came to us, right? Like you started in 2019, it's 2022. So you had about 2 years there of either going out, DIYing your growth strategy, or potentially looking to invest with some other companies, people, or programs. And I always give the disclaimer, we're never here to badmouth any other professionals. They're all doing their best. They're all trying to figure things out. But what did you try prior to working with dream firms to try and ultimately kickstart the growth of your accounting firm?
I literally have not made an investment in any other company to grow my firm. I didn't even see value in that until it was presented to me. I was just using social media, word of mouth, referrals. That's about it. That's about it.
There's an expression I love, and this is one, everyone, I want you to take this and bring this into your next conversation. So, someone might say, hey, why should I invest this premium price with you, Adrian, when I can hire someone on Upwork for, $5 an hour? They say they do the same things. And anyone who's gone down that track quickly realizes what a mistake it is. And then they call you back, and then you have to go and take care of their errors. But my point with that is, you can either buy nice or you can buy twice. And thankfully, Adrian was able to properly gauge value, right? And value is a synonym for results. There's a whole value equation formula. I don't really want to get into the nuance of that right now. But she came and she said, wait a minute, this is a premium investment, but it also comes along with a premium result and a premium experience. And when you have those things, right, like if you're looking for a premium result and a premium experience, you have to understand that the prerequisite for that is a premium investment. There's no way to get around that. Like as soon as you bring people to that conclusion, right, you can buy twice or you can buy nice. You can buy premium now or you can buy premium later, because that's fundamentally what you are looking for. And once people start to realize that, they go, that's actually so true. Because to create that result, to create that experience, I've got to be willing to invest at a premium level. That applies to marketing, that applies to accounting, that applies to literally like every area of your life. So, so let's talk a little bit about why you started working with us. Because again, we talked about the hurdles, the struggles, but what was really the defining thing that said, I have to do this? What was the controlled aspect of the spontaneity? What were you looking to control that said, move this from, I'm not so sure, to I have to do this?
You laid it, excuse me, you laid out the specifics. It wasn't like it was a defined program with steps and real people doing this, real people having success. It wasn't any guessing. I wasn't going to have to figure it out. And I was able to make it work financially. I was able to figure out how I was going to make the investment. And so I almost feel like when I make such decisions, it forces me to make it work. Because I've committed to it. So I've committed to it with my time. Now I'm committed financially. So I have to do the work. I just felt it has to work. It has to work.
Well said. Well said. So the thing that's interesting to me about your situation in particular, and I like to give some context for everyone listening to this. Adrienne is not a $1 million firm owner, right? She's not even in what we call like the mid-figure range. She's really in the micro accounting firm range. And that's not to say anything other than it was a hard financial decision. It wasn't an easy financial decision. But the reason I bring this up, and this is also, again, another good thing for you to bring into your calls with your prospective clients, is that I love the people that are able to draw the line in the sand and then step over it and say, there is no going back. Like, I have to make this work. I have to make the most out of your accounting expertise. I have to make the most out of this program. I have to bet big on myself because I literally can't turn back. Those are the people who always have the highest level of success. The person who can write the check, right? And it just comes right out of their bank account. They don't need to use credit. They don't need to ask a family member to help them. They don't need to use. They may be here, they may not, right? They know that they've got some other things working, but the people who need to make it work, and I see a couple people on the call that are clients as well who need to make it work, right? Like, I love you guys because you're hungry every day. You need to make it work. And then all of a sudden, we create this bond, we create this momentum because there is no turning back. And I just want to, again, thank you for being someone who's willing to bet big on themselves and, more importantly, making their dreams come true. So let's talk a little bit about what it was like getting started, right? Because this to me is always the big black box. It's like, okay, you're selling the invisible, Tyler, right? Great book if anyone hasn't read it. You're selling the invisible. All of us are selling the invisible. You're asking me to make a big promise with you. But what happens as soon as I give you the information, the credit card information, the money, whatever it is? How do I know that this is going to work? So just give them that insight from what it was like to actually get started with us.
It was so simple. And I like simple. And it was just laid out. As soon as, so I started, had to jump right into the calls. I had to jump right into the program modules, watching those videos, doing the work at the end of each video and not just clicking complete and saying, I'm going to come back to it. And I don't know if it's just my nature, but I like that structure. Tell me what to do and I can do it. That's the way. Just tell me what to do and I can do it. I don't want to have to figure it out. Tell me what to do and I can do it. And with this, it was like log in, go in order, do this and just move forward and the results will come.
Beautiful. I can't help but notice that personality trait really matches fitness coaches, right? It's like, just tell me what to do and I can do it. You got to do this number of reps. You got to do it with this type of form, right? Like, awesome.
And that is literally my life. It translates into everything I do. Just tell me what to do and I can do it. And then you get the results. It works in the fitness industry. It works in business. It just works. And you have to show up.
Exactly. And there's something, there's an old quote I love, and it comes from Bruce Lee, right? I don't fear the person who can do 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who's done the person who's done one kick 10,000 times. But the follow-up from that is you have to do the kick the right way. You have to do the exercise the right way. You have to implement the strategies the right way. And if you have the right process, if you have the right understanding of how it works, and you've got the right mindset to say, we just need to keep doing this. We're going to get better at it. The kick's going to snap a little bit harder, right? It's going to have a little bit more power. My flexibility is going to get a little bit better. My targeting is going to get a little bit better. Like, all of this applies equally to everything that we do. And again, it's just a testament to you and all of our clients, where it's like, if you expect this to be perfect immediately, you're just wrong. Like, it's just a completely, first of all, perfect doesn't exist. Second of all, it's an unreasonable expectation for you to hold anything to. So to me, it's like, just keep going, right? Like, see it see it come together as you continue to move through. And again, I think that's the right way to approach just about everything. And you've done a fantastic job at that. How has this changed your life, right? Like, and that's a big question, because it's only been a couple of weeks, right? 2-3 months, 3-4 months approximately that we've been working together. But how has it changed your life?
I'm much more confident in what I have to offer. I value what I have to offer. I value my time. I have a self-confidence. It's just something on the inside that says, you can do this. You get those wins and it's like, oh, you live to fight another day. Because it's literally how I feel. And it's funny that you make the martial arts reference, because I started martial arts when I was 40. My husband is an 8th degree black belt.
Very quickly, this is my point. She already admitted to being 40. We know she's older than that. And I personally am not buying it. I'm still not buying it, but I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
That's okay. So I think I have a history of doing the hard things the unconventional way. So I just signed up, and it's that one kick. Just do that one kick the right way. So my thing was a simple reverse punch. Most people don't use it, but you know what? If I can be a 40-year-old with the best reverse punch in the country, I'm good. And I will beat you every day of the week with this one technique, because that's what I practice. So, what was I saying? Got your question.
How has it changed your life? How has it changed your life?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a challenge. I like challenges. I like playing the game. It's almost like I'm playing the game. I want to win. I have more clients. I have more cash flow. Listen, it's a process. I'm not where I want to be, and it's work. But I show up every day, and it gives me something to show up for. It gives me, I work from home, but it gives me a reason to walk from my bedroom to the office and not think I'm just going to be sitting in the chair, not trying to figure it out. It gives me a structure to just get things done. I'm just learning from others in the community. I've learned so much. I've talked to so many people in online fitness, which I didn't think was a viable niche market. And it's like, I talk to these people every day, all day. I talk all day. And I don't like talking. I don't like talking, but I literally talk all day now. But it's just, I have a peace and I have an assurance that I can do this. That's how it literally changed my life. I know now I've made the right decision. I don't have all the results, but I know I'm on the right path.
Results come over time. And I emphasize this because if we start thinking differently, right? Like everyone goes, how do you create massive results, right? Like how do you create them? The truth is they take time to develop, and they're little wins that stack on top of each other every single day. But you don't start generating those little wins if you are on an island by yourself. Sometimes you don't even know if you got developed a win or not. You're like, is this good? Is this bad? Like I always call it the curse of the entrepreneur, which is when you can do anything, what should you do? It's like, maybe I should watch more CPE webinars. It's like, maybe you should. It's like, maybe I should try and look up software for workflow management. It's like, maybe you should. If you have a team, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do this. But as soon as you get the structure and you get the access to the people, and you now have this, it's a mindset. It's just like everything is mindset. I don't know if anyone pays attention to David Goggins, that like crazy Navy SEAL online, but like dude who's done like 1,000 pull-ups or something. It's like, he's just like, everything is mindset. Everything is mindset. If you say you can't, congratulations, you can't. If you believe you can, and you surround yourself with the people, the techniques, and the strategies that have proven that it is possible, tell me why you can't. Like, tell me why. And then all of a sudden we realize there's absolutely no reason why not. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate the depth of that answer. That was absolutely fantastic. So help me to help everyone to understand what you enjoy the most about working with us, because again, like a lot of people don't know how much we do. We got group, we got a private social media network, we got on-demand video training, we have on-demand software expertise and implementation, we generate leads for people. I mean, I can keep going, but specifically for you, Adrian, what is it that you really find the most value in on a regular basis with Dream Firms right now?
Right now, because it changes. So right now,
you can pick what you like, but let's talk right now.
The lead gen, and I point over here, this little thing that's going on over here with my lead gen specialist on that computer over there, virtually. It's like appointments just come on my calendar because they're reaching out to people, and I don't have to do that work. I don't have to mine LinkedIn to find these people. I don't have to be on social media for hours trying to reach out and connect and create content and all of that stuff. Somebody is out there doing that for me in the calendar. It shows up on my calendar, and I can have these calls, and it's like, it's somebody working for me. It's like that part is literally worth the investment for me.
Yeah, and again, it's like the biggest emphasis we put on the program is always your time, right? Like it's always it's the single and most important factor. Is like if you invest your time in the wrong direction, or you don't have the proper appreciation for it, you'll continue to tread water for the rest of your days. And everyone recognizes, okay, yeah, social media is important. I would like to have more recognition of my amazing skill set online. But then they get into like, how does that actually work? And the truth is yeah, we need a little bit from you. We need to make sure that we understand kind of what direction to drive our efforts to. And again, we're doing this for Adrian and our clients. But once we start driving in that direction, it's just, you're just reaping the benefits. And the benefits are, again, it's like, wait a minute, you're an expert. I have this problem. We should talk. This seems like a good idea to solve this problem that I keep having related to accounting, bookkeeping, and tax, or finance, or whatever the field of expertise is. But I'm glad that you enjoyed that, or continuing to enjoy that. Help me understand even before that then, right? So we said lead gen right now, which again gets better over time, right? Progress, not perfection, gets smarter and more active. Tell me prior to that, what you really felt was something that just, again, was very valuable to you.
The agreement, the one-page agreement.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like when I got to that, I was like, duh, it was like a no-brainer, but I spent countless hours trying to figure out what's supposed to be in my agreement, and how do I introduce it to them, or how does that work? And it was just I can't even remember. I think it was just one of the video tutorials that I watched, and then it was attached to it, and it was just like, you were so matter of fact about it, and I was like, it just changed my world. And he doesn't even know that my life's just changed with this one-page document. And now I get it. It's like the mental freedom of not having to figure that out is priceless. Because
Yeah,
use the same one and just here you go.
exactly, right? There are simple things that once you have them, it creates leverage, right? Like it took me, I can't even begin to tell you how long, like the number of hours I put into updating that agreement. Like that agreement is from the like 70s, right? Like it's literally from my grandfather's accounting firm. Like that's how old that is. But like people sometimes hear old and they're like, oh, I gotta go chase this new thing, this new pricing strategy. And maybe, right? Like we want to innovate, we want to experiment for sure, but there's something to be said about simple. And that's a term you've used again and again throughout today's interview is there's power in simplicity, right? People don't want complex. Complex is the opposite of everything that people want. They want simple. And when you're in the sales process, when you're trying to get people to agree to buy, sometimes just being like, no, we don't have 15 pages of legalese. No, we don't have 3 things for you to choose from because you don't even know what you need. Here's the one thing. It's like, you need this. And it covers everything you could realistically ask for. And it's 1 page. You're like, oh, this is really simple compared to the other things I've been running into. But yeah, I'm really glad you enjoyed that and shared that. That's like one of my favorite resources we have. And I feel like so few people really take maximum advantage of it. And I'm glad to know that ultimately you are. So this is a little secret question because a client asked us to ask this of them once. And I was like, oh, this is such a cool one. So take a second to think about it. But Adrian, what would you say your superpower is?
My superpower is just the ability to make people feel comfortable. I think people trust me. I think people trust me for whatever reason. That goes a long way.
It does. And I would agree with that superpower 1000%. Like the first time we talked to each other, I was like, whoa, who's interviewing who here? All right. I was like, wait a minute. But again, it's like you have this very easy way of just communicating, and that is a tremendous superpower to have. So I hope you continue to leverage it because it's a good one. Don't ever discount it. All right, so this one is again a little close to the vest, but to me, it's more of like you haven't really even been with us all that long, right? We always point to this award back here and we go, this is what 90+% of entrepreneurial accountants are actively telling us are their goals. We don't make it up. We collect the data. They're all saying, I want to add 6 figures in 12 months. We have not been together for even not even half that time. So Adrian, if you are willing to share, how much have you added to your firm and in what time frame?
So, and I'll just be I was generating for monthly revenue only $12,000 a year before I came with the dreams firm. 2 dream firms, $12,000 a year. Within 30 days, I added $15,000 to that. So more than double that within 30 days. And right now I am at, where's my number? 33,000, and this close to getting 51. One proposal out there to 51. Halfway there, and it's not even, I think I started August 1st. So 4 months, less than 5 months. That's crazy numbers to me. But what's even crazier is it's like I want more, I want it faster, I want it bigger. It's like, oh wait, I did this. Okay, I think I can do more than that. Why can't you do more than that? Why can't I have 6 figures by the end of the year? Because as I started thinking about this, then I'm like, okay, don't be crazy, be realistic. So maybe by end of the first quarter, I definitely should get it. I definitely should do it. Easy. That's what I'm putting out there.
And this was not a belief you had for 2 years.
No, no, at all. I couldn't even figure, I couldn't even dream that big. I couldn't even think that big based on how I was charging people I had no mechanism to get to six figures. I had no mechanism to get there based on what I was doing and how I was charging. It just was not going to happen. But now it is like so real to me. And when, I have someone ask me how much I charge, I'm not going to call you back. I'm not going to figure it out. I'm not going to send you a proposal because that's wasted time. This is how much it is. Can we move forward? Okay, no worries. If you can't, no worries. It was great talking to you, but if you can't, okay, let's go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I can clear that from my brain. I don't have to keep going. I don't have to keep figuring it out. I don't have to keep wondering if they're going to agree, if they're not going to agree. We know off the top where we're coming from. Is there something that you can afford?
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I love the term mechanism, right? There's I forget I think it was Michelangelo. No, Da Vinci, I think, right? Give me a lever in the right spot or whatever. And I can move the world, right? It's a mechanism. We've got to pull on the right things, and then we can create a tremendous amount of leverage. And it goes back to, again, the primary principle of the program is your time. It's your time. It's your time. It's your time. And when we invest that time the right way, and we have the right things going into how you're investing that time, the beliefs, the pricing, the way that you appreciate your services, getting consistent at-bats, appointments on your calendars, right, in your target market, then these things build on top of themselves to the point where you're going, wait a minute, I can add six figures by the end of the year. We're talking November 10th. We're talking less than 2 months from a business owner who had about approximately $30,000 in business in 2 years, right? Like, again, annual business, annual revenue. That's what we were working with. And now we're saying, wait a minute, I can triple that by the end of the year in less than 6 months, effectively.
That's crazy, but it's like so real. It's like, it's not like a pipe dream. It's not like, oh, it's not ridiculous. No. It's very obtainable. And I am not special. I'm a regular accountant that's just doing the work. I'm not special. I'm not any different from anybody else. It's just doing the work, just following the steps, and it works. And it's, every day is not a good day, but you live to fight another day.
I'll disagree. You are special, right? And I say that because I think everyone is special in their own right. But I do agree that, hey, we have pretty much the same skill set, right? I mean, we can all talk, we can all do the math, we can all do the work, but then it becomes like, what's the new skill sets, right? Like, what's the thing that we got to add? What do we have to improve? What do we have to bring in to our organization that takes us to the next level? Because if you want to try and do it by yourself, right? Like if you really, really want to do it 100% by yourself, you've got to question your own value proposition. Because your whole value proposition is, right, like, bring my accounting expertise into your business. But no, I don't need any expertise in my business. I don't need any help growing my business because I only want to help your business with my expertise, but I don't need anyone else's. It's just, and then again, it's like, as soon as you make that investment to get expertise on your side, you go, not only this is so valuable to me, I am so valuable to other people. And it has this, just has this beautiful, it reverberates, it just multiplies on itself. So again, thank you so much for sharing that. Again, it provides a lot of just tangibility to people who are like, come on, is this just like confidence? Is she just like happy about herself? It's like, no, she's making money. That's why she's happy. She's making money. Okay, cool. So let's talk to those people who might be out there and on the fence, right? They're not the ones that are just intentionally trying to find reasons to not move forward, but they're on the fence. And they have the opportunity to hear one phrase, one thing from you about whether or not they should join this program, right? So what would you say to someone considering our services right now?
I would say that the results don't lie. The numbers tell the story. Google Tyler. Look him up. The numbers don't, I mean, that's something we say in martial art, in the martial arts community, when somebody, you go to a new tournament, they don't know who you are, you're like, Google. But so, Google Tyler, it's like, I would just say, just do it. Bet on yourself. And if it doesn't work, you have nothing to lose. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? And I promise you, you'll gain something. You may, even if you don't gain all that you think you're going to get, you're going to get something. You're going to get something.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point. And the point to me is that the money is a renewable resource. And most people look at a 4-year college education and, $200,000 and 4 years later, or a master's degree and 2 years later, and $100,000 and more, and it's only getting more expensive. They look at that and they go, I'll do that. And we say, well, why don't we do a fraction of that price and a fraction of the time and actually have it specifically about making you more money? And they go, you know what? I don't think that that's a great idea. But the truth is time is a non-renewable resource. You give 12 weeks of effort, and it's not a full 12 weeks of effort. It's a partial amount of time during that, but 12 weeks inside of the program, focus on the right things. Am I guaranteeing you're going to be 100% cash flow positive by the end of the investment with us? No, that would be a ridiculous thing to say. Does it happen frequently? Absolutely. Is it a guarantee? No, because I can't guarantee what everyone else is actually going to do with their time once they make the investment. But for those that are like Adrienne, who by her own admission does the work, right? And if there's one thing accountants love, they do the work. You tell them what to do, they can do it. Because it doesn't require you to be special, although I believe she is, and I believe everyone is. It doesn't require it to see the success that you are looking for. So again, I really appreciate, again, you sharing this with us, Adrienne. I think it gives people just a ton of context in whether or not this is a good idea. And again, time's a non-renewable resource. You learn these lessons now. You may not work with us in the long term like Adrienne is, and like 85+% of our clients are, but you're going to walk away with something that's going to change your life for the rest of your days. So let's talk about this. What has surprised you the most when it came to growing your practice? And I know that can sound like a weird question, but the truth is that some of the things are surprising in growth. And what has that been for you in particular?
I think what surprised me the most is just how people are willing to pay you, how people are willing to pay to value you if you value yourself. That's surprising to me. But if I don't value myself, they're gonna pay you what you value yourself at. Simple as that. And if you don't value yourself, that's what you're gonna get.
I'm louder for the people in the back, Adrienne. Way louder. One more time. Say that one more time for me.
You have to value yourself. People are only going to value you if you value yourself. And I remember when I first started this program and you were throwing out numbers, and I was like, that's ridiculous. There's no way I can charge that. There's just no way. But the more I engrossed myself involved myself in the community and started hearing stories and different things, it's like, wait a minute, I can do that. And even within the last couple of weeks, it increased my value. I'm like, okay, I'm more valuable than I thought. And as I see the value of myself, people see that as well. And I can give them the experience. I promise a premium experience. Just take what we get. But you promise, I just replicate that. You promised me a premium experience, so that's what I can promise my client. And I will be their best friend. We can talk every day until we get this down to a science. There's, and they appreciate that. They appreciate that, and they pay for that.
Louder for the people in the back. No, seriously, it's one of the things that you hear, right? But it's like, it's hard to internalize it when you hear it, because it's like, that's you, right? Like, oh, you saw the numbers. And so then, but the truth is like, if you look in the mirror at night, and that's the only opinion that matters, right? Like that is the only opinion that matters. And when you look in the mirror and you go, I don't feel like I'm as valuable as I should be. The truth is that you have surrounded yourself with either the wrong people, you're making the wrong investments with your time, or you're just fundamentally, you have something that is incorrect in your belief pattern. It's just impossible for it to be true if you care about other people, right? It's just like, I care about my clients deeply. She just said it. It's like, I will be in your corner. I will be on the call every single day. It's like, if you need help, I am here to help you to get the result. Please just communicate it. And when you have that deep belief that like, my time is worth it because I will get you the result. You'll charge for it. You'll charge for it because it's a non-renewable resource. It always comes back to that, right? Like it always comes back to that. Okay. So you're getting closer every day, right? You just referenced getting we're talking about the award now, right? Like you're getting closer every single day. And I just want you to share how close are you to winning the Dream Firm Award? So again, this is a very specific, there's a specific way to win this, okay? It's billed and collected 6 figures in less than 365 days. New revenue, right? So it's like P&L, right? Like we're all accountants here, like so we know month-to-month comparisons. This should be not rocket science, but when you're looking at that, Adrian, how close are we? And more importantly, how certain are you you're going to get it?
Oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. So I have to get it. I literally have to. So I'm at 33%. I'm 33% there. I have one deal that's out there. It's not signed yet. She made the installation payment, but she hasn't made the monthly investment. So whatever, but I mean, paid the installation, so I'm hers. And that's going to get me 50% there. And I have a call today for another one that's going to push me even further. They have the proposal, they just needed to talk about it. And like, okay, Adrian, I think we're there. And so by the end of this week, I'm hoping to be halfway there by the end of this week.
That's wild. That's wild. That's amazing. Congratulations. You deserve every bit of that success. And I am not confident you'll win. I am absolutely certain you'll win it. And if I was a betting man, and I am not, but if I was, I would put a healthy, what do they call them? Stacks. I don't know any betting terminology. I would put a stack that you would win it by February. I think that's like with your trajectory. I think that's definitely doable. Fantastic. So last question, and then we got Q&A. I got 5 minutes to be able, because Adrian's got an amazing call with one of our Dream Firm leaders, a coach inside of our community, the dynamic Ine Jackson-Atkins. Ine will be so mad at me if I take Adrian away from that call for even a minute, and you do not want the wrath of Ine. Her love is amazing. You certainly don't want her wrath. I've never experienced her wrath. She's the most loving person I know. But anyhow, who would you recommend the program to, Adrian? Well, who would you recommend this to? Because you know our community's tight-knit. Who is that?
Any owner of an accounting firm that wants to grow. Period. You want to grow? This is where you go.
Short, sweet, and simple. Simple as a term that we use a lot. Okay, so moving to Q&A. Just a quick shout out, anyone, right? $50 Amazon gift card, drop a proactive comment in the Facebook Live. You give yourself a nice chance at winning that. I've got a question from Amelia. Adrian, I also taught an intro accounting course at university, and I agree it would be so helpful for most business owners. Real fast, everyone's like, no one ever wants to learn accounting. I just fundamentally disagree with that. There's a base level that you need to have, like ask the most successful business owners in the world. You think they know nothing about accounting? No, right? Like I love that as a value proposition. And again, it's not like you need to like super emphasize it, but a little bit goes a long way. James says, how did you decide on your niche? I enjoy working with a lot of different businesses. How did you narrow it down?
So I had 3 choices out there. And so I wanted to do beauty salons. I think it was churches, and then it was an online fitness coach. So those were just 3 areas that were important to me. That not important, but things that I naturally had an inclination to. So that's how I got to those 3. Then to narrow it down to online fitness coaches, I just really like working with those kind of people. They have the same mindset, I think almost that I have, but it's the same nature of, okay, let's change lives, let's serve people. And I know they know what they're doing, they do what they do well. And it's something that I'm passionate about. I have an online fitness coach. I love fitness. So why not work with the people who I like to hang out with?
Perfectly said. And for anyone that's more concerned beyond that, right? Like, and that's a great answer. It's like there's three, and then you just kind of look deeper. We also have exercises inside the program that like literally walk you step by step the decision-making process of like whether this is a good idea, whether this is a bad idea. So again,
I did do that guy, because I didn't know. And in my little my Dream Firms book, I did the little pros and cons thing to just kind of figure it out. I used it.
You mean to tell me you did the work?
I did the work.
What a crazy concept. Oh my goodness. Imagine that. Making an investment and then doing the work to see the return. What a weird idea. So just a quick heads up, there is a link floating around in the chat. Book a call if you'd like to just understand more about what creates results like these. So I've got a question from Megan. She says, Adrian, do you have any advice for preparing to leave your full-time job? I'm ready to be done, but nervous about leaving that financial security behind. I mean, you can certainly speak to that.
You will never, ever feel like it's time. I can do it. It's never going to be perfect. The time is literally never going to be perfect. You literally just have to step out on faith. It's like you have to step out and know that your foot is going to land on something solid, because you don't see. You won't see it until you step out. And literally, that's literally what I did. There's no way I would have done this full time if I hadn't left my job.
Yeah.
Not lining it up. I didn't do a pros and cons. I didn't do any of the stuff that you don't want. It wasn't a logical decision, but it was the right decision.
Yeah.
It's not going to feel right, but you just have to trust your gut.
Yeah, it's a really hard decision for people to make, because again, like they call them golden handcuffs for a reason, right? The paycheck, it's like, yeah, but like it's shiny, right? And truth is it's going to come with discomfort. It's going to come with a loss of income for a short period of time. But if you're really the type of person who loves to solve problems, you love to help people, you love to add to your skill set, right? Like you love to improve yourself. Once you make the decision, you're never going to look back at it. Like I mean that from the bottom of my heart, even if it takes you a little while to get there. So I got a question from Tim. I'd love to learn more about the program. Can you email me? Tim, my man, link, book the call. Everyone will tell you no high pressure sales. It's either a good fit and it's going to speak to you and you want to do it, or it's not. And I just want to make sure that we have a chance to connect with you. You'll speak directly with me as well, Tim. So I can't email you, but even better, we can speak directly to one another through a book appointment. Michael says, how can I get in touch with you, Tyler? Which is the program, same thing, just link floating around here. So just do me a favor, Michael, book that call and I'll talk to you soon. I got a question from Emily. Adrian, how did you hire for the lead generation person you referenced earlier? I don't have time to do it myself, but I know it needs to be done. How'd you do that?
So up with this thing called Dream Firms, and they do it for me.
Yeah, so again, to me, it's like we're willing to oftentimes outsource the responsibilities for accounting, for bookkeeping, for workflow fulfillment, right? For being able to say, hey, we need help to do the work, but you also need help to get the work. And when you just make that connection, it's like, well, why wouldn't we just have the experts who already know how to generate the opportunities? No ad spend, crazy concept. No ad spend either, no Facebook, no Google ads. We don't even need to do that to get appointments on your calendar. And then all of a sudden, we do that for you. So again, just to be clear, Emily, Adrian didn't even need to hire. She didn't need to train. She doesn't need to manage. She just enjoys the result. And that's something we'd like to create for you as well. Feel free to book a call. So Wendy, Adrian, you've inspired me. Booked my call with Tyler just now. And then Sarah says, love this interview. Thank you, Tyler and Adrian. Adrian, before we part ways, is there any last bits of wisdom or any parting advice you'd like to give to our audience here?
Just trust yourself. You know what you're doing. Trust yourself.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So listen, that concludes today's Dream Firm Leader interview. I cannot thank you enough for investing your most precious resource, your time with us over this last hour here, Adrian. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'll look forward to seeing you more inside, of course, the Dream Firms Network. That goes for everyone. You want to come hang out with us, check out what we've got going on, link floating around. And again, thank you so much, Adrian. And remember, for everyone else, only you can create your dream firm like Adrian, but we are here to help you every single step of the way. Have a fantastic rest of your workday, and we will see you all very, very soon.